I'm the co-founder of Oaxaca, which is a group of restaurants serving fresh, bright Mexican street food. I always loved cooking. I cooked since I was 6. I was obsessed with food. And I guess probably that's why I stuck on the food so much when I went to Mexico, because I was just traveling and I was just drinking tequila and dancing my way through Mexico. So obviously backpacking around one country is very different from setting up a restaurant. But when I was 26, I was in a catwalk show with Clarissa Dixon White, one of the two fat ladies. And at that stage, age 26, I still didn't have a career. I still didn't know what I was going to do with my life. But she very quickly, talking to me, discovered I was passionate about food and cooking. And she sent me off to a cooking school. 2 years later, I was working in a food shop in London, and I realised I wanted to do something dramatically different. And I kept thinking about this incredible food that I remembered from my trip to Mexico, and whether it was my memory playing tricks on me or whether the food of that country was going to be as amazing as I remembered it. So I was very lucky. I phoned out a few friends and I found a job going. Someone wanted help opening a cocktail bar in Mexico City. So within 3 weeks, I'd flown out to Mexico City and I was opening a huge cocktail bar, which really just gave me the opportunity to be in Mexico and travel to those states that had the most incredible food. The great thing about starting any new business is that if you knew what was in store for you, you'd probably never do it because you don't get enough sleep. I think we lost loads of weight. We just joked we should put a hammock up in our restaurant because we were always there. We never went home. At the same time, those things are so invigorating and challenging and exciting. And we had a full restaurant. From 3 weeks in, we had this enormous queue. And I think people were so surprised to see this different take on Mexican food, the freshness, the healthiness, but also how exciting it was to share and how convivial it all was. For me, the biggest piece of advice for people is choose your team really well. It's incredibly inspiring working with great people who are positive and enthusiastic and passionate about what they do. On the other hand, it's incredibly derailing when you get a kind of negative force in your team, and it's very contagious. So, choose the people you want to work with, because you spend a lot of time at work. You want to have fun at work. We have a lot of fun here at Oaxaca. We go party together, we work hard together, we spend a lot of time together. So, choose that team well. And if you're going to have a business partner, choose that business partner so that they complement your skills and not just reflect them. As a woman, I've never felt held back by being a woman because I've just driven my own agenda. I think the only thing that will always be a challenge for women is when you start having a family and juggling that thing of being a mother and working hard, and that's always going to be a challenge. I think in this country particularly, the cost of childcare is ludicrous. I think we have the most expensive childcare in Europe, and I certainly know of young, late 20s, early 30s girls who it doesn't pay for them to go back to work after they've had children because the cost of childcare is so extortionate. And that feels to me like a total brain drain. For me, when you've had a child, you're much better at organising your life. You're much more time sensitive, you're aware of the precious time you've got, and you're very efficient with your time. It's ludicrous that it costs money to go back to work.